What's up guys, welcome to day 17 of the 100 days RunStreak challenge. Today I'm gonna do something that I've been meaning to do for a while and I'm super pumped about it. I've always wanted to do the exact same run but with two running watches and being able to compare both results at the end. So today that's what we're gonna do. Let's go! The two watches I'm going to be comparing are my personal watch, which is a Garmin Fenix 5X, and Margot's watch, which is a Forerunner 45S Garmin watch as well. I bought mine more than 2 years ago now, mostly for hiking and running, and it has all cartography features, a lot of things with the altimeters. It's really good and really reliable. Even though it does cost a lot, I do think that you get what you're paying for, and this is really an incredible watch that I've been wearing for now more than 2 years and I'm super happy about it. And on the other side, Margot's watch, Forerunner 45S, is what I believe is the perfect watch for anyone with either starting or is already an average runner but doesn't need like super fancy measurement, super fancy data collection. The Fenix 5X that I have is super cool for cartography, so you can create your own GPS path, download it into the watch, and then use your watch basically as a navigation system. You literally, you are on a trail and then you go like, okay, go left. That's a super cool option that obviously you don't have that with the Forerunner 45S. That's why I decided to go for the 5X, but I do think that for 90% of my run, I'll be very fine with the 45S. But anyway, let's stop talking about that. So I did go for a run with those two watches.
Okay, so I am 10 minutes into this run, and surprisingly both cameras are displaying exactly the same distance with 10 meters accuracy, sorry. That's pretty impressive so far. Obviously same time, same distance, so the pace is obviously similar. So until now, pretty impressive accuracy comparison, so let's see how much more. Oh my god, I have done 3/4 of the run, so more than 7.5 kilometers out of 10, and both watches are 30 meters apart. So luckily my watch, the 5X, is giving me a 30 meter more, so I'm gonna choose to believe this watch.
And now I've put both data on my laptop side by side so we can compare both of them. I was wearing one on my left wrist, right wrist, so technically the data should be almost similar. There's one minor thing, it is that the 45S Forerunner from Margot is connected to Margot's Garmin account, which means that when Garmin processes the data from Margot, she uses our body measurement information like height or weight. When I'm running with her watch, Garmin thinks that she is the one running. So obviously you're gonna see some differences that are completely explainable because of those differences of accounts. But let's go now and let me fetch my laptop. Here we are. So on the left side, Margot's account, so that means if I scroll all the way down, it is the Forerunner 45S. And on the right side, it's my own watch, which is the Fenix 5X. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up now that we know what we're looking for. So the time, okay, 3 seconds difference. That's basically just the time for me to stop one watch and then stop the other. First thing I wanted to check was the distance. You can see about 50 meters difference from Margot's watch to mine, which if you think about it is really not that much. Okay, so then the pace is slightly different. The pace is only a computation of time and distances. Time and distances are slightly different, so you see a 2 seconds difference between the pace on the left to the pace on the right, 5:58, 5:56. I think overall that pretty shows that it's probably the same thing. So one thing really funny though is the number of calories. That's what I was talking about before. Since Margot is much lighter than I am, obviously for the same pace, same distance, same duration, Garmin obviously think that to move a body like mine, you gotta use a lot more energy than to move a body like Margot has. So obviously the number of calories are very different. So anyway, calories here are not really interesting, but I just wanted to mention it, that it's pretty funny to see that I'm almost burning double calories than Margot, maybe because I'm almost double her weight as well. Okay, so the biggest difference I think between those two watches is what you can see here. It's the gain, the elevation. 80 meter for Margot, 94 meter for me. That's pretty big. It's between 15 and 20% difference. Let's imagine we do a hike or we do a high elevation trail run, for instance. You could imagine that I could end up with like 1,000 meters elevation when Margot would only end up with 800 meters elevation, which is a big difference. I think the 5X on this has a much better quality. I think there is more thought into the engineering of this watch put on altitude, mainly because it is a watch for mountain climbers and all those high mountain sports. So I'm more inclined to believe that the 5X did a better job than the 45S on this. And that kind of shows you how you could see some differences. Like if you're really looking for a watch that is super cool for high mountain stuff where the altitude plays a big role in it, this test tends to show that the 5X might be giving you more what you need than 45S Forerunner. Okay, let's scroll down. Oh, by the way, Margot's account is in French when mine is in English, so that just means faster and slower. Okay, so elevation here, as you can see, yeah, those curves do seem quite similar. Like, I mean, Margot's watch was kind of correct also, like when I was on the uphill or downhill, it did pick up that I was either gaining or losing elevation. But in terms of amplitude, you could see that my watch went above what Margot's watch is displaying. Pace is almost the same. It does look like the curve on the Forerunner 45S on the left is slightly more like smooth, and the one on the Fenix 45S is much more like lots more peaky data, which might indicate that the 5X is actually taking more measurement than the 45S is. That's why the 45S will look more like rounded curve, where the 5X would look a little more like peaky. If we scroll down, BPM, okay, they all display the same thing, so kudos on the 45S honestly on this, because you would think that on a watch that is like a third of the cost of a Fenix 5X, you could have like lesser good heart rate measurements or all those sensors, but it does look like it's probably the same one, or at least it's as accurate. Okay, performance condition is something that the 45S doesn't measure, so can't really compare those. Running cadence, honestly, I don't pay much attention to this, especially in the RunStreak, but it seems to me that it's showing kind of the same results. Don't see much of a difference there. If we look again at the overall statistics, the 45S doesn't compute what's called a training effect. So you can see this is something I get with the Fenix 5X. So basically you can see that I'm improving my endurance, but I'm literally not improving at all in terms of anaerobic effort, which is basically because I'm only pacing myself to a very low pace to make sure I can run again and again and again. By the way, if you're joining the channel right now, I am in the run streak of 100 days where I run a 10K every single day. I'm also uploading a video every single day on the platform here to share my progress and also give some tips and reviews like this one. If you want to be part of the journey, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the notification button. So anyway, coming back to this. Okay, wow, that is a big difference. That's probably what I was saying when I said that the 5X was taking more measurement than the 45S is. That's why all the statistics on the 45S will be more like average, and you will see a lot less amplitude. Because if you look at the best pace, it looks like I've never been faster than 5 minutes and 7 seconds per kilometer versus 4.31. Those two are very different pace, and I probably have only had this 4.31 minute per kilometer on a very short time. At some point I have a very big downhill, so that's probably when it happened, but that's something that the Forerunner 45S didn't catch basically. Yeah, that's it. All the other statistics are pretty much the same. So to conclude on this, honestly, I'm very impressed with the performance of the 45S, and I think it's really interesting to study the different end of price range for the same brand. So I think Fenix represents kind of like one of the best watch you can get with Garmin, and 45S is, I was gonna say one of the worst, but it's definitely super good. So I don't think I'm gonna go with worse. I'm probably gonna go with one of the cheapest one you can get. We're still talking about running watches that are very much above average. Overall, the 45S I think is very good value for your money, especially when you compare it to the Fenix 5X, which is almost triple the price, but in terms of performances, I was very impressed with the 45S. Honestly, there's only on the altitude, on the elevation gain, that probably if you're looking for something very accurate there because you're doing a lot of hiking maybe, or a lot of trail running where the elevation take a big part of the training, maybe I would say that in this case the 45S Forerunner might not be enough for your needs. But overall, statistics are pretty much the same. Heart rate was pretty much the same, pace and distance, all of that was very accurate from both watches. That's it guys, I hope you liked it. If you did, if you got some value out of it, and if it helped you in maybe making a choice towards the next running watch, please leave me a big thumbs up and see you tomorrow.